want to make a quick video about the opening drive for the 49ers because they scored, and it seems like they always score, but I really want to focus on Deebo Samuel. So they get Deebo Samuel back after a couple of games that he missed, and after the game I asked Christian McCaffrey, like, what is it about Deebo Samuel? Like, what does he bring to the table that we can't quantify? And he said somewhat generic answers, but I think this opening drive kind of proves it. That look at the way opposing defenses react to Deebo. So yes, they're in man coverage. You see Deebo going in orbit motion, and what he does is he takes 32 right here, who is supposed to be in that run fit lane where McCaffrey runs, and they get 6 yards. But the 49ers, they built off this play for 3 consecutive plays, and I think that was the most impressive part, and that's probably the biggest compliment to Deebo Samuel, where they can run essentially the same play 3 different times and build off it with different concepts. So the gravitational pull that Deebo has, the way that defenses are forced to honor him when he goes in motion, is what I want to focus on. So let's do that. So we just saw the run by Christian McCaffrey. So here we go. Deebo goes in motion. There's that orbit motion again. So they didn't fake it to him last time. Here they are. They're faking the handoff. But if you notice, this is Kyle Juszczyk. This is Christian McCaffrey. So again, motion, obviously it shows man coverage, and now the whole side is cleared out for Christian McCaffrey to run a little shallow route, and it's not an explosive play or anything, but 49ers are able to generate a first down, again, by the defense overreacting to one player, and that player is 19. You get Christian McCaffrey one-on-one with a safety underneath, and you're going to take that every day of the week. So 2 plays, you get a Christian McCaffrey 6-7 yard gain, and then they come back, same orbit motion like I've been mentioning, and then we get the crosser with one of your best players. So 2 for 2 out of the gate. And I know this is scripted because, every offensive coordinator scripts their first 10, 15 plays, whatever it is, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And I think that's what makes Kyle Shanahan one of the best play callers in the NFL. So again, very next play, there goes Deebo. Orbit motion again, behind the line of scrimmage. And as you can see, the cornerback, he goes across the line of scrimmage with Deebo. But the linebackers kick, they motion over, or they bump over. And now there's nobody to guard George Kittle. And I think Brock Purdy does a really nice job here of acknowledging that, because we'll see from the end zone angle, he was probably either supposed to, like the initial read, was to go to Kyle Juszczyk over the middle, who was wide open. But this is where you just want your quarterback to play football, right? Be a human. Because, sure, he's open, but in practice, I'm sure that Kittle was not wide open. So for Purdy to acknowledge that is pretty impressive. But again, this is a Deebo thing. So 3 plays in a row where Deebo has a significant impact, and he doesn't touch the ball. Okay, so play action, a lot of moving parts, rolling Brock out in the pocket. Now, a lot of the same, right? So it seems like they've been just to start the game. The idea was to get Brock Purdy on the move. And this play, the result is incredible because it's a touchdown. And I'm sure you've all seen the videos by now where Kyle Shanahan, Brock Purdy, George Kittle, like they were all talking like, hey, the process, not so great. Shanahan went as far as say the worst decision. Purdy said, I just have to throw it out of bounds. It worked. And I know there's a billion different angles from this where, like, sure, the defense wasn't able to get a hand in it, but this is not something that you want to rely on. And this is something that, in January, whether it's the Eagles, the Lions, the Cowboys, like these are not the decisions that you want to live on, right? But I think if we're just worried about, if we're thinking about in terms of the process, you really like to see a quarterback willing to throw the ball, right? A quarterback willing to give his guy a chance. And I've been harping on variance all year, and Purdy comes with the type of variance that the 49ers need to win. And this play is a prime example. So Kittle said after the game that Brock Purdy, and you're going to see it here once he points, that Brock pointed one way to fool the defense, and that was to get Ayuk. So that point right there, watch it real quick here. This little point, like he's trying to fool the defense. That little point does not fool anybody. But I think we're just seeing his creativity on the fly. So he's comfortable playing when the bullets are flying right here. So the point doesn't work, and he's like, what the hell? I'm going to go for it. I'm going to throw it. It's really not a terrible pass. But the idea of, throwing it across your body, over the middle, into coverage, you're playing with fire. But that's the 49ers opening drive. And based on what we saw from the opening drive, it looked like the Jaguars were going to be in for a long day. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened. So I wanted to highlight this. We saw a lot of Deebo not touching the ball, right? But just the 49ers are able to build off him. So that's what he brings to the table. And sure enough, they were able to cap it off with a touchdown.